Hello fellow time spinners and the internet. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Spinners of Fate. It's been a while since the Kickstarter officially ended, and the grand total Lunar games raised was an astonishing $175,740 out of the $176,667 that was pledged to Time Spinner. That's quite an impressive amount if I do say so myself. But that's not all. If you missed getting in on this stellar project during the Kickstarter, worry not. There is actually a pre-order widget on the Humble store, as well as in the description below here for anyone who wants to be a slacker backer. Now, I'm not really positive on that term, slacker backer, but essentially I prefer the term pre-ordering. You can get some pretty cool in-game bonuses for doing the pre-order, as well as help reach the next stretch goal, which is the familiar mold. This is a win-win situation when you really think about it, so why not? I mean, if you're going to plan on getting the game eventually, why not throw in the money now, get it on a pre-order, get bonuses? There's nothing to lose. And for those of you who have backed and everyone else who will be planning to back, the official forums are now up and running over on lunargames.com/forums. The developer forum room is currently unavailable for the people who donated $25 or more. It's still under construction, but once it's up and running, everybody who did donate $25 or more will have access to that section to be able to see the progress on the game development. Now, the community is still active. There is a Time Spinner general suggestions community playground, as well as a general discussion off topic and support for the forums. And the community is fairly lively already. Speaking of the community, though, during the live stream countdown for the last 24 hours to the end, well, not 24, my apologies, the last 12 hours for the Kickstarter, we actually had several guests on the show, but one of the more important things was there was a fan art contest, and the winners were announced during the stream. I'm going to be posting some of them during the video here. The first place was Bryce Kill, second place Daniel Rudd, third place Jesse Joust Tuner. The runners-up included David Ree, Brian Hardison, and Mattis Bianc. I apologize if I butchered anybody's name. Now, there were several other submissions, all of which you've probably seen over the course of this episode. Each of them was amazing, and while they're included here, you can definitely find them on the Lunar Games Tumblr, which will also be in the description below. Last but not least, I wanted to include a few posts from the forum community. I specifically requested a little something to show how awesome our group of people are, how they found out about Time Spinner, what drew them in, and how they feel about the project as a whole. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to read a few of them now. Maxim says, well, I saw the Kickstarter through the Mighty No. 9 shoutout and decided to give it a look. After the main character Lunas and the color art style of the game resembling Star Ocean, then I saw the blast that looked something like Mega Man X, would have my jaw dropped, and I was like, I must have this in my life. You can even ask Bodie, because I shot him a PM because I was sad that I couldn't back it right away, but that I had held up to almost last minute to back it, but me and Bodie had an awesome conversation because of it. Metal Shadow Overlord. Not sure if mine actually qualifies because of how it ends, but it's definitely a story to tell in all of the same. Well, what really got me into this was a variety of reasons. The Metroidvania style gameplay, the unique weapons, and the overall Castlevania Symphony of the Night feel. And the weird enemies, and of course time travel. I love games that feature this. I backed it almost immediately at the $40 pledge, which included a familiar and some costumes. I planned to Let's Play this and wanted to show off the backer exclusives. However, while all these really made me want to back the game, is something a little bit different. I showed Kickstarter project to my friends, but despite being in love with the game as much as I was, none of them could spare some cash to back it themselves. That's when I noticed the last pledge on the page, Boss Designer. All previous rewards, work with us to design your own unique boss that would be hidden in the final game. Be named in the credits as Epic Boss Designer. All previous rewards? I shouted in my mind, does that mean I scrolled up, looking through the other rewards. Enemy design, weapon design, be pixelated portrait in the game. I was stunned by what was being offered. Usually Kickstarter projects, at least mean the ones I saw before, didn't bundle limited pledges in with the higher reward tiers. I couldn't pass this up. You might be yawning by this point. Why would you continue to listen to me go on and on about what I could afford to the highest tier and do all this? Well, that's the thing. I didn't do this 100% for me. I actually did it for my friends who couldn't back this game. They would choose what they wanted to do. One would design a boss, one would design an enemy, etc. But we all collaborate and help each other and make the thing that we choose to design even better. Because of this, I even asked Bodie if their names could be listed in the credits, to which he said yes. I noticed, however, that not all of my friends could benefit from this. One in particular, a special friend of mine, was left out. So I created a second account and backed the game again at the Pixel Bus level. Hey, a special tier for a special friend, right? I made sure I added extra money for add-ons, and now not only will everyone be, in one way or another, in the game, but they'll all be able to play it too. The best part, I don't even know what I've done yet. Some of my friends have been on vacation and haven't been able to get on Skype, but when they do, I'll give them a proper group call and give them the news. Needless to say, they're in for the biggest surprise of their life. Well, that's my story, and I hope you guys didn't think I was trying to be self-righteous speaking of my gift giving like this, for I assure you that I did not write this with the arrogant intent, and I apologize to those who initially thought that this was the case. So I'm sorry for the wall of text. Joden Freeman says, I found out about the Kickstarter from a thread on ttlg.com forums about Kickstarter projects. I saw the art style, heard the music, and was initially intrigued. After some quick research to verify the validity of the project, I immediately pledged as much as I could afford. I'd have backed the highest tier if I had the financial means to do so. I was the only one able to scrape together $60 back with, but that will get me a nice pretty copy of the game in a physical format. Nathan says, I found out about Time Spinner through Kotaku, and the trailer immediately sold me on the game. I'm a huge fan on games like Castlevania Ori of Sorrow, and of course the Metrovania, everybody's name, like Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid. I also love the concept of mixing this genre with time travel elements, since fiction, books, and movies about time travel is something that I love, and this was a marriage of those two things. I also like the fact that Bodie is an indie developer who really comes across as passionate and someone who truly loves the genre, so I decided to back this project, and I can't wait. Well, that's all that we have for today, fellow Time Spinners. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
No one will stop me.